May the gods protect me.
Hey guys, this is episode 5 of Get to Know. Today is La Coix, aka Shaun White. And look, I didn't give a lot of detail on the backstory and the origins and the creation of Sam last week because I knew I was doing back-to-back of Late Justice, so I didn't want to essentially say the same thing in both shows. So I saved my thoughts for here. So essentially the creation of Sam and Shaun were complete mistakes. One day I'm sitting around with some people at the time, we're looking to get in the film industry, and we had done some production assistant work, but we wanted to do our own stuff. But as we're thinking, we're sitting as 4 of us, we're like, we have no ideas. Well, one guy pointed out that he knew I had a comic book at the time, Blind Man Lead was out. And so he said, do you have any ideas? I said, well, to do the scale of Blind Men Lead would not work. And so we said, hey, let's just figure something out. So I came up with Sam and Shaun on the cuff. And then after that, we drove on Atlanta that night for like 2 hours before I found a place I could actually scout. And we just did a random fight scene. There was no plan, no anything to it. And then one of the guys said, hey, I know a guy who can do some promotional photos for you. Well, then it turned out to be promotional art and concept pieces and stuff. And then it just kind of came together and became the story it is, which is why issue 3 has never come out, is because I just, as of 2 months ago, as of this recording, I just nailed a story for issue 3 that I love, that I can now put out there to the world. Before then, it was everything off the cuff, and issues 1 and 2 were just me throwing things at the wall, and finally I found something I liked. So that's why it's 2 different artists, and that's why we have the parents' origin story where the kids fight. It's all jumbled, but issue 3 will make it all make sense. So with that being said, essentially, Shaun's powers are the same as Sam's. As I said last week, they're doppelgangers of each other. But there is a big difference. Shaun can fly. Shaun does not have manipulation tactics. Shaun cannot duplicate himself. He does have enhanced durability. He does have a more enhanced healing factor. He is a sorcerer. Now, he's only conquered light magic. He does not have access to dark magic at all. It's just not in his spirit. But as far as powers goes, it's essentially the same with some minor tweaks here and there. And so at the end of the day, and also he has force field manipulation, as you've seen in Messina issue 1. But once again, as you've seen in issue 1 Messina, it's very hard for him to maintain it as he has not conquered his powers yet. Sam is way further ahead down the line than Shaun is. But that's okay because it's about the growing pains that Shaun is coming up with at the time. So with that being said, that's essentially the origin of him with the powers and abilities. Issues 1 and 2 of Late Justice are out. I will put the links in the description for both Late Justice 1 and 2. And look, guys, I don't want these things to be this short, but these 2 characters have only been in, 3 issues each or 2 issues each. 3 issues for Shaun. So that's why it's a little bit shorter with these, but I also want to keep it to bite size so that way you guys can go actually read the books yourselves. But with these 2 characters, there's not a lot of history on them, but I still want to give the backstory of how and why they were created. So I hope you still enjoyed this, guys, and I hope you guys can like, subscribe, and follow.